the song "Make Room" by The Church Will Sing is it's very live sounding, which means that a lot of people are doing a lot of different things. And for the electric guitars, it's actually very simple. We just have 4 kind of key riffs throughout. For the acoustic guitar, we have 4 chords throughout, and we're playing the same chord progression throughout. However, you really, when you're doing that, you actually kind of need to find ways to make it interesting. And they do a good job of that in the recording. And all the guitars are tuned down a half step. So we're not going to do that because a lot of us that's not the scenario that we're playing in. And so I actually capoed up to the 7th fret for the acoustic guitar. Electric guitar is all just riffs, and so that's going to be without a capo. So make sure you're looking at the right chart. Go ahead and tune up, watch the music video, and let's get started. There's a whole lot happening on the rhythm of this song because there are 3 acoustic guitars and they're all doing different stuff. And once again, as I mentioned in the intro, everybody's tuned down a half step. So what I did was I kind of came up here. I got some of the main parts, and I'm going to give you some kind of guidelines. There's really only 4 chords to this song. And so I'm going to give you some basic things that you can do, but then you can expand on that. You don't have to do the picking as simple as I'm doing it. You don't have to do the strumming in the same way. Like, everything can kind of vary because you can just feel out the song when you're in the live situation. But if you're just like, give me something to do, that's what this is. Okay, so first off, we have our opening part, and this part actually is pretty important. It comes in over the top, and we can't do quite all the riffs that it's doing because we're not tuned down a half step, but it's going to sound like this. So what that is it's kind of emphasizing what the piano is doing, and it's really counting on the piano and the other instruments, I think bass is in there too at that point, to kind of hold down the changes. And so, because you'll obviously notice like that doesn't sound right because the chords are going to that D. So by itself it sounds weird, but in relationship with the other instruments it sounds great. And so we're doing the same pattern throughout. We're going to start out basically on the top of a C chord, pointer fingers on the 1st fret of the B, middle on the 2nd of that D, and we're plucking our high E. You can see the tabs down below if you need to look at that. So you're plucking your high E, and just bouncing back and forth between the G and the D. And we're constantly just alternate picking, so. And that ends the measure, so it's not even every time. It's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Then we're just going to put our either your ring finger or your pinky down on the B string and open up the G and the D and do the same pattern. Then we go right back to that C shape, pointer on the B, middle on the D, and then we do the same thing for 2 measures, but instead of going to the high E and skipping the B, we just start on the B. Repeat. And then that leads us into our verse. Now the verse has kind of some real open picking going on, a lot of different things happening. I just simplified it. So we're going to just start right into the C. We're going to go 16th notes. I have tabs of this below as well. And we're just going to walk up the chord, just 1 E and a 2, 3, 4. So just starting from your A, 2, 3, 4. For your G, you're going to bring your ring finger here, and we're going to skip the A. So same rhythm. Then for our D minor 7, same thing, starting on the D. And And then we have our F, and when I'm just picking, I don't always go to the whole thing because I know I'm going to start on this D string, so. And then just repeats. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. So I have loops and tabs of both of those down below. And then we just have a strum pattern. We kind of, on that first chorus, we just kind of do just real simple one strums. But our strum pattern is going to go down, down, up, up, down, 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 up. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. Real simple 16th note pattern. It's so slow. I gave you a loop of that down below as well. So practice along with that, and then let's take a look at the walkthrough. 2 and 3E and a 4E and a. 2 and 3 and 4 and. 2 and 3E and a 4E and a. 2 and 3 and 4 and.